My stepdaughter called me dad at her birthday. My wife lost it, so I walked out for good. I've been with my wife for 10 years, married for 6, and I've always known I'm second place to a man who isn't here anymore. Her first husband died when their daughter was 1. She's 13 now, and my wife still goes to his grave every single day after work. Rain, heat, doesn't matter. On weekends, she takes their daughter too. I tried not to judge it. I told myself grief is grief, but it started to feel like our whole life had to orbit around a cemetery. When COVID hit and school went remote, I worked from home as an online tutor, so my stepdaughter was with me all day while my wife kept going into the office. That's when the kid and I really clicked. I made her breakfast, helped with homework at the kitchen table, and listened to her talk about books and dance like it was the most important news in the world. I learned what makes her anxious, what makes her laugh, and what she hides when she's trying to be fine. I drove her to practice 4 times a week and waited outside in the car while she danced. My wife didn't come to recitals. She always had something after work, and I didn't need to ask what. For her birthday, I wanted to give her something that told her I see her. She loves Percy Jackson, and she once mentioned the Heroes of Olympus box set that's been out of print for years. So I hunted for it online at night for weeks, checking photos, asking questions, making sure it wasn't fake. When it arrived, I wrapped it and put it on the table with a card. She tore the paper off, screamed, and hugged me so tight I almost dropped the box. Then she said, loud and happy, "Thank you so much, Dad." I froze, then smiled. I didn't correct her. I've been the one making lunches, doing math problems, driving, cheering, and hearing about her friend drama. If she wanted to call me Dad, I wasn't going to push her away. My wife had always drilled it into her that she had to call me by my first name, like I was a guest. The kid would sometimes catch herself and glance at her mom before she finished a sentence. She ran upstairs to start reading. The second her door closed, my wife turned on me. "You're not her dad," she hissed. I thought she was just surprised, so I said, "She's excited. Let it go." My wife stepped closer. "How dare you let her call you that?" I kept my voice calm. I didn't ask her to. She said it because we're close. My wife's eyes went flat. "You don't have any children," she snapped. I said, "I've been raising her for years." She cut me off. "She's mine, not yours." I tried again. "I'm not replacing anyone. I'm just here, doing the job every day." That's when she said the thing that cracked something in me. "If my husband were alive, I would divorce you in an instant for him. In an instant." I stared at her, waiting for her to realize how nasty that sounded. She didn't blink. She pointed toward the stairs and said, "You buy books and help with homework, and you think that makes you her father? It doesn't. It never will." Her voice was loud enough that I knew our daughter could hear it upstairs. I said, "Stop, she's right there." My wife said, "Good, she should know." After that, we stopped acting like a couple. We slept in separate rooms and barely spoke. On the 3rd night, I went to my stepdaughter's room because I couldn't stand her carrying this. She was in bed reading, but her eyes looked swollen. She whispered, "Is this my fault?" I sat down and said, "No, never." She asked, "Did I mess everything up by calling you that?" I said, "You didn't mess anything up. Adults are supposed to handle their feelings. This isn't on you." She nodded, but her hands kept shaking on the book the whole time. I stepped into the hallway and just stood there, hearing my wife moving around our bedroom like I wasn't even in the house. In that quiet, it finally hit me. I wasn't a partner to her. I was a placeholder who kept the lights on. The next morning, while my wife was getting ready for work, I packed a suitcase and set it by the front door. When she saw it, she went straight to anger. "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm leaving." She scoffed. "Over one fight?" I said, "Over what you meant when you said it." She blocked the doorway and said, "You can't do this." Then her words switched fast. "She needs you here. Not, I'm sorry. Not, I need you. Just, she needs you." I said, "You made it clear she's yours, so show up for her." That's when my stepdaughter came down the stairs in her pajamas, clutching the new box set to her chest. She looked from my wife to me, terrified. My wife snapped, "Go back upstairs." The kid didn't move. She whispered, "Dad, please don't go." My throat tightened, but my feet kept moving. I picked up my bag, looked at her and said, "None of this is your fault, okay?" Then I opened.